It's true. I am so looking forward to this. We have Travis Richey, the inspector himself, from an Untitled motion picture about a space traveler who can also travel through time. It might be familiar to those of you who watch Community, because he showed up as the Inspector Spacetime, obviously from there. Might also be familiar to anyone who, loves Doctor Who. Those two fandoms have come together in an amazing way. And Travis, have we got you online?
Hey, I'm here. Can you see me, hear me, any of those things?
We're working on it.
Click this button. How's that?
Yay! Here we have the
All right.
inspector himself, ladies and gentlemen.
How are you today?
Greetings,
All right, so
Internet.
tell me something about Inspector Spacetime as someone who has no idea what the heck you are.
Well, from the, just from the, in the real world sense, the Inspector is, Inspector Spacetime was a Doctor Who parody that appeared on Community, which is a show in the United States that far too few people watch. And it was just for a while the favorite show of two of the characters on Community, and it was weird because it became this amazing thing on the internet where Doctor Who fans and Community fans all latched onto this character, and through kind of the framework of Doctor Who, they built an entire 50-year history of this fake show that never existed.
I actually found it via the Inspector Spacetime Tumblr. Like, I saw that long before I actually saw the web episodes.
There are a couple, and actually now there was Inspector Spacetime Confessions,
Yes.
but now there's a different one on Tumblr that has kind of taken over, and they do a much better job. And I can't remember the name of it, but I repost them a lot. So if you look on my Tumblr, or just search for Inspector Spacetime on Tumblr, you'll find them. It's great stuff.
So we had 6 web episodes to start with, and then there were all these teasers for a season 2, and now instead of a season 2, we're getting a movie.
I know. It's well, what happened was we were doing when we were going to do season 2, and it was going to be bigger and more. I mean, it was going to cost more. It was going to be longer, about 3 times as long as the first season of the web series, which we actually wrote specifically to be as cheap as possible, so that Sony
In classic Doctor
and
Who
NBC
style.
do it. What's that?
I said in classic Doctor Who style.
Yeah, exactly. And so we, yeah, exactly. Well, I thought for sure that Sony or NBC would do some supplemental content for Inspector Spacetime. It seemed ridiculous to me, especially with as popular as the character was, that they didn't. So we decided to make it ourselves, and in the course of that, ended up having a phone call with Sony in which they graciously requested that we change a couple of things about it to avoid similarity. So we changed the title
I
to...
love the way he put that so nicely.
They were really sweethearts about it. Really my favorite people in the world. But we... so we changed the look of the character, and I mean, to be honest, it's actually a lot cooler now. And the title we just made Untitled, and we're going to keep that for the movie. Although we are adding more to the title, we're going to call it The Inspector Chronicles, and that's going to be our unifying name for everything. Because not only do we have an Untitled motion picture, we also have an Untitled comic book that's in the works, written by Tony Lee from the Doctor Who comic. We also have an Untitled video game that's in the works. We have an Untitled radio show in the works. I mean, it's really taken on a great life of its own.
How much fun do you have playing this character? Because it just sounds like a riot.
The Inspector is lots of fun. Because he's kind of a dick.
Oh, nice! I like him even more now.
The Inspector has no hearts, and he is the first of his kind. So he has, so he really has no idea how to act. He has a mission. He has kind of a purpose for being, which is to kind of be a universe police. But he has no humanity of his own, and so that's why he needs his associates. They are literally his humanity, his heart, and so he happens to lose a lot of them in vicious ways.
Vicious ways, huh? He's one of those doctors you don't want to be next to.
See, one of the things I love about this, as you're describing it, he's not a Doctor Who fan. You can't see me, but I'm actually here in my Doctor Who dress. I wrote the Doctor Who cookbook. I'm kind of in love with it. And so...
I saw your dress. I tuned in earlier, saw your dress, and also the Transformers t-shirt. Those are good. You guys dressed up.
I know, right?
And so I love the fact that you've managed to do, like, Doctor Who doesn't take itself that seriously a lot of times, and yet you've still found a really fun way to parody everything that fans are going to love about it, from the names and like, he has no hearts as opposed to having two hearts. He's the first of his kind as opposed to the last of his kind. I eat this stuff up. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, the thing that we do is, and me and my writing partner Eric Loya take great pains to make the show accessible to everyone, not just Doctor Who fans. So Doctor Who fans get more out of it for sure. But that was one of the things we wrestled with, was how do you parody a show that already doesn't take itself too seriously. So what we're doing is we're making the Inspector, it's kind of its own thing, and we're using the tropes of Doctor Who and other sci-fi shows, playing with the evil twin trope, playing with the idea, the movie deals heavily with that idea where suddenly the audience is being told that everything they know is not true, and the main character is being told that his life is a lie. And so that's what we're playing with in that one. So if we work with broader strokes, it's a lot easier for it to be accessible and be successful.
You guys also managed to get some fantastic science fiction actors with this. Not only did you, I'm so impressed.
I recognize those actors too, by the way.
Yeah, they've got Robert Picardo from Star Trek, and Sylvester McCoy, the Seventh Doctor himself, is going to be on this show.
I know, it blew my mind, and it's funny because we just realized the other day that it's all doctors.
Yes.
So we've got the Doctor from Star Trek Voyager, the Doctor from Doctor Who. Mayim Bialik plays a doctor on Big Bang Theory. She is also in real life a PhD, and so we've got all these doctors.
So since we are here to also help pimp your Kickstarter, which, by the way, anyone watching this, seriously, go give him some money. I want to watch his movie.
I want to watch it.
Yeah, we're on IndieGoGo this time, and that's because for the movie, it does have a much bigger budget, but the good thing about it is that we're able to, and we've got interest from investors who want to come in and handle the majority of the budget. So it takes a lot of the responsibility off of fans to fund, but we are still looking for a pre-production budget because we have to accomplish certain benchmarks before investors can come in. So we're looking for $25,000 on IndieGoGo. I think we passed $6,000 last night after just about 6 days. So we're doing pretty well.
So tell everybody what rewards they can get in exchange, in addition to getting to see the movie and having that made.
Yeah, well, not only, I mean, you can get everything from, not only do we do, sign posters and scripts and stuff like that, but if you get to the upper end, we have actual replicas of the optic pocket knife, which is the Inspector's multi-tool. And yeah, and you can actually get on, you can get into the show, you can get into the comic book, which Tony Lee is writing. You can get your name and likeness in the comic book. And we also, I just announced yesterday, a referral contest where if you don't have a lot of money, but you have a lot of friends, you can refer people to give either, if you got a lot of people, to give $5, or if you just have a really rich cousin or uncle, you get so the referral, the person who refers the most donors gets the perk at the amount that they donate. Does that make sense?
Yeah, neat.
Oh, nice.
That's actually a really nice way to do that.
Yeah, so if you have 500 people who donate $1,000, or I mean $100,
that would be great.
Well, then thank you very much. No, but if you 500 people who donate, $10, then you will get into the movie as an extra. You get to join us on set. You get a producer credit. You get the optic pocket knife. You get all that stuff, and you wouldn't have had to give anything yourself. So
now,
we have that open.
People out there that are not as familiar with this, it has a bigger fan base than you think. You guys were actually guests at Gallifrey 1. You've been at a couple of other conventions as well. Do you have any other appearances between now and then that people can look forward to seeing you in person?
Nothing that is scheduled. We're probably going to be at WonderCon, although we didn't ask for a panel this year, and I'll be at Comic-Con, but I didn't ask for a panel either. I've just been so focused on getting this done, and just getting Sylvester McCoy on board was a whole process. I ended up I met with him while I was in London for like 2 days last October, and we met for tea, but then it's been conversations with him and his agents and his all that stuff, and it takes a lot of work. So I haven't had time to I've got a lot of helpers, but I haven't had time to actually do all of the promotional work. So I really depend quite a bit on fans. It's interesting because as big as this fandom is, we are still the little guy. We're still basically just me in this messy office trying to make something happen.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, go support his Kickstarter. A, because I told you to. B, because an awesome movie is going to come out of it. And by the way, when I said Kickstarter, I meant IndieGoGo because I'm a horrible human being.
We had Kickstarter
Yeah.
IndieGoGo on today. She's all excited. So thanks for being on the show. I
my
can't
pleasure,
wait to
guys.
see what
Thank you.
comes of this, and it's going to be epic, and maybe we'll have
if
you on again shortly.
If people want to see just how epic it is, we actually have the prequel episode
Yes.
done for the. It'll be essentially be the first scene of the movie, and it's done, and you can see it, and it is amazing. Robert Picardo is at the end, and you can hear Mayim Bialik's voice as the voice of the time machine. So.
Well, we'd love to have you back on the show once you guys get into production and be able to pimp it again then. But for now,
All
we've
right.
got to wrap up and go to a next segment. Thank you so
Awesome.
much.
Thanks. Have a great day, guys.
All right, we'll talk to you.